it's Lori Dreyer. I'm the branch librarian at the town branch library in the Newburgh Mall. And today we are going to be making star ornaments. I have several different kinds. You got instructions in your kit that specifically go with one, but I'll show you how to modify it and make them a little bit different. You can see that this one has the same yarn pattern on both sides. This one has a little bit different pattern on the back side. This one also has a similar to the other one. And then last we have this one that is completely one-sided. You'll also notice that the middle of the ornament is made of cardboard, which is a nice blank canvas for us to work with. We're going to be putting some images in the middle of these ornaments, and you can make them festive to whatever holiday you want to celebrate if you want to give them as gifts. I personally think they're cutest with a little pop culture fun. So we've got some magazine cutouts to work with, and we've got like Fozzie Bear here. And then we've got some, let's see, some vellum pieces and some nice shiny cardstock here. It kind of gives you a little blingy, you get a disco ball feel almost. So we'll get started. So we've got a bunch of magazines here that we can use and cut out 2x2 squares that'll fit on our cardboard. We've got some scrapbook paper, all kinds of different patterns that can be cut out into 2x2 squares as well. I mean, really, it's any paper that can be cut into a 2x2 square. On this one, in fact, I just used a bit of it's painter's tape, but it's colorful painter's tape, so which would work perfectly. Or if you have some of the fun duct tapes with patterns on them, that would also work well. This one has scrapbook paper on it that has been painted over with a yellow wash to give it kind of a yellow tinge, but you can see the original pattern very clearly. This one on the back, that was a street map of Dubuque. This is magazine cutout. Let's see. Oh, this one was fun. This one is just a small piece that I used a ruler and some colored pens. And that is how I ended up with this nice geometric, colorful interior on this one. So we've given you a lot of these supplies in your kit, but not all of them. So you're going to have to, decide what you want in the middle of your ornaments and create that. I am going to show you an example. I think we're going to use Fozzie Bear here, and we'll use a piece of vellum on. So this will be one side and this will be the other side. The first style of pattern that we're going to do is this style, and this style is the kind that is in your instructions in your kit, and you're going to see the difference between these two. You can see how this one creates kind of more of a pointed star. This one isn't really a star shape so much as a hexagonal shape, and so we'll look at doing both of those. The nice thing about the star shape is that it creates kind of a circle in the back, so you can see both sides really well. All right, what you're going to do is you're going to start off by gluing two pieces of your cardboard together. Doesn't take much glue. Now, because these are white on one side and cardboard color on the other side, I would put it so that seam sides are together, and then you will end up with cardboard color on the outside of your star. So we're gonna let that one dry. Fortunately, I have a spot right here that is already dried, so we can move on. We are gonna take our pins, and I have some pins right here. So your pins are the pins in the little baggie here. All right, so we're going to take 8 pins for each ornament, and we are going to put them in each corner. And you want to make sure they're really secure. So, and they can stick out about an inch or so. The most important thing is that you want them to be uniform. A uniform length. So come here. And you want to get them right in between. I don't know if you can see that. Right in between the middle of the cardboard pieces there. This is why we use corrugated cardboard and not pressed cardboard or any other kind of cardboard. We definitely want it to be corrugated. And you know, corrugated, that means that it has these little ridges on the inside. So this is what the boxes from Amazon that you're probably getting a lot of, or whoever you're getting a lot of boxes from right now, as we're all getting home delivery. So you probably have some corrugated suitable cardboard around your house already. But we're going to go ahead and give you pieces so you can get started. Okay, and then when you have 8 in, you can see, there we go. You can see we have 8, 1 in each corner. And we're going to not lose our pins. Otherwise, you know, they'll end up on the floor. All right, and then we're going to use our handy dandy glue. We're going to lightly, because as we know, putting paper on glue tends to make it wrinkle. So light amounts of glue. And there's Fozzie Bear. Okay, and then we're gonna flip it over. And do the same thing with our vellum side. Yep, come on. I mean, really light. It's gonna mostly be held in by the yarn, so it doesn't need to be super adhered to the cardboard. It just needs to stay on long enough for us to wrap our yarn around it. All right. Because the vellum is a little see-through, I think I want to push that down just a little bit more so you don't see the clumps of glue. There we go. I think that's pretty good. Oh. Okay, we're gonna make sure our vellum is sticking here. There we go. Push down on that a little bit, keep it flat. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to hold, get that in the right spot there, hold with one finger, and you're going to bring your yarn around to one of these pieces, and basically you want to end up with one of the corner pieces, and you're coming from the front to the back. So you see this is the back of this piece of cardboard. Okay, and then you're going to come down 2 and go up 1. Come down 2, go up 1, come down 2, go up 1, 2, and 1. As it said in your instructions, your mantra for this ornament is 2 down, 1 up. That was no exaggeration. So you can keep holding on to the loose piece on the back there just for a moment while you get this first row done, and then you're going to continue around. And what you're going to do on the second row, you want to make sure this is your loose piece is right up against the pin. So what you're going to do on the second row is you're going to come inside. So you see how I laid that down so that this piece that I just put down is on the inside of the piece that I laid down before. And you're going to come up one, and you're going to come on the inside again. Come up one. And believe me, this gets to be second nature, as long as your yarn doesn't tangle too bad. All right, so we're gonna come up one, go on the inside, come up one, go on the inside. Hang on, I gotta move this piece of paper. And we're gonna move this guy. There we go. Okay. And then basically we're just going to keep doing this for a while. Back to it. So we went down 2 from this pin. We're going to go up 1. Okay, and then occasionally you're going to have to push these down a little bit. Remember to keep your inner yarn tight as you're working toward the center of the image. And you'll notice that as these points come closer and closer, you run out of room for your yarn. That's how you know you're getting to the end. This one might actually be at the end. Okay. So you can see where we've ended up. Here's what the back looks like. Our nice vellum on the inside, shiny. Okay, and now you're going to cut. You are going to cut about, I'd say, 6 or 8 inches of yarn. So, now you've got your ornament with your 6 or 8 inches of yarn hanging off. In your instructions, I believe, so in your instructions it says to cut 3 inches and to just tie it on the back of the loop. But now if you want both of your sides to be presentable, I have found a secret weapon for this. And that is a handy dandy crochet hook. So I'm just using a what size is that? Like a size 5 is what it says. And what I'm gonna do, make sure you keep your yarn smooth and moving forward. Okay, and just going to push this in and pull this yarn through to hold it tight. And then I can go to the next point over from where I finished, kind of dig down and pull the yarn through gently. There we go, and now it's coming out the top. And before we tie it off, what we're going to do is we're going to push these pins in because we don't need them to be this long anymore. So just go around. Make sure you push them in straight. You don't want them to come out either side or you're going to get poked every time you go to use this ornament. All right, and there we go. There we have our ornament. Now you can tie this off into a loop to hang it, and use that same crochet hook to pull the remaining come here. And we'll just kind of smush it up there. So then you have your loop. Can't see any ends. On either side, an ornament. So with a teeny tiny fuzzy bear right there in the middle. You can see his eyeball and his nose. Of course, if you have a picture that requires orientation, you want to make sure that you end your last pin so that the orientation is correct. So I should have ended here probably, but since you can barely see him, I'm not going to worry too much about him. I do like how this vellum turned out on the other side. So that is our first kind of star ornament. That is the kind that is described in your instructions. You can see on the back that it looks very similar. So the other kind that we're going to do is a much simpler version actually. So if you got this down, then you're not going to have a problem with this. And the reason that I like this style is that it's really easy to go back and forth and do both sides so that they look similar. So we're going to go back to our cardboard that we glued earlier. We're going to get more pins. Hopefully we have enough. Okay, again, we're going to choose one of those, and we'll use our soldier boy here. Okay, back to our glue. Put a little extra on because this is cardstock. Okay, I'm going to take some more yarn. All right. Okay, I opted to get rid of the straight head pins and use pins with heads on them because that's just easier for this style. we're going to pull out 8 of these. Eight, nope, that's 7. There we go. Ah! All right, put these guys. We're going to do the same thing with these pins. Put them in the middle, the corrugated portion of the cardboard. If you have little roughed up spots on the corners of your cardboard, don't worry, they're not going to show. So long as it can hold the pin steady. That's the important part. And you want it to be straight. Okay. You want them to be about equidistant from the center. Okay, and we're going to start off with our yarn. Okay. So we're going to start off with our yarn right here at the edge of the square. We're going to come down here, down this side of the square. Go down 2, come up 1, go down 2, come up 1, go down 2, come up 1. And we're going to get to the end of our first row. We're still holding on to our end piece right here, so don't lose that. And in fact, sometimes you can tuck it so that it sort of stays once you've got a piece of yarn on there. All right, and then we're going to flip things over, hold on to that yarn piece, and we're going to do the same thing over here. Actually, needed to come over one more. Okay, so we're going to come down 2, go up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Okay, and then we got back to the beginning of our round. We know because we hit our little end piece here, and we're going to flip it over again. And we're just going to keep going back and forth. You want to make sure that your yarn is on the outside now, not on the inside. So you're going to climb up the pins. We're going to go around on this round twice because I think I did twice on the other round. This is a fairly forgiving craft, so if you make mistakes, it's easy to back up and you redo, or you can just keep going. Mostly you want it to look like a pattern. Now, as you're coming up on your pins, you can kind of squish down. Oh, I think we went around too many times. Again. There we go. And we're going to come up, flip it over, down and up 1, down 2, up 1, down 2, up 1. we are out of yarn, which is good timing because we are back at the beginning of our round. So the way that we're going to finish this off is we're going to grab our handy dandy crochet hook. We're going to sneak in the middle of here and grab that bit of yarn. Just bring it down and adjust our pattern. And then before we do anything else, we're going to push in our pins. Oh dear. Come here. Oh, come on. So you don't want to push them way inside. You just want to push them to where they meet the yarn. Okay, and so now we've got these two little end pieces, and ideally, because we do have an oriented picture, we want to end up with our loop coming out of this pin. So we're going to grab our yarn and pull it through. Through here, and then I'm going to kind of finagle it so that it goes around this one pin. Now you want to make sure that this doesn't show, of course. Oh, and see, it's a good thing I said that, huh? So let's grab this from underneath. Come here, get down there. There we go. All right, and we're going to grab our end piece here, and we're just going to bring him up. And into the fray there. Okay, and what we can do now is the same thing we did before. We'll create a loop. Oof, there we go. That loop did not want to get created. Okay, and pull our end piece to the inside. There we go. All right, and there we go. We have a loop. Here's our full ornament. Both sides look the same. Have the same pattern. And these pins with the heads create kind of a nice end. They're a little easier with this pattern because they keep the yarn from popping off. With the other pattern, it's not as likely because it's a little tighter. But this one's, you know, just the nature of the pattern. The yarn is a little bit looser, and so it's a little more important to keep them in check. So, and there you have it. That is how you make ornaments. Where did our other ornament go? There it is. So, these two guys. Thanks for watching.